All right. Thank you, Dr. Derek. Thank you so much. We appreciate that our lead signal
Indeed.
for the Dream Team. Welcome, Dream Team family. Welcome. Today it's another day, Dream Team webinar on this day of our Lord, Sunday, August the 16th, 2026. We want to take this moment to say thank you for being here with us. We value your time and we value your presence. You could have been somewhere else, but you are here with us today. So thank you, and welcome, whether you are here through the meeting or you are in any of the YouTube channels, Dr. Derek, Queen Dr. Pat, or my YouTube channel. You are all welcome. So, but at this time, we want to go straight into our signature tune for the Dream Team by none other than our Queen and Sister Lorato. So, over to you, Queen King Dr. Derek. My apology.
clear of the closing doors, please.
Stand clear of the closing doors. Wonderful. The closing doors for us is as we continue on our journey with the dream team, our dreams in life, knowledge, empowerment, on a daily basis. So thank you all once more. Thank you, Queen Lorato, for that beautiful, lovely song leading us every Sunday. We want to thank you for that voice, and we want to thank you for God's gifts upon you, the talent and that you use to grace us with on a daily basis. So, all right. Without much further ado, if you are still joining us right now, whether on YouTube or you are coming in through Meet In, we want to welcome you and we want to say we are glad you're here for this powerful, powerful webinar of today because we have a wonderful guest that is going to impact us today. And I hope you're ready. If you're not, I just want to say be ready with your pen and your notebook to take down this knowledge, this wealth of information that is going to be shared with us today. But as you know, we always in the dream team, we want to prepare ourselves, our mindset to put on in a better place. And we do that by inviting one of our Queen sisters, who is no stranger to us, to give us our mindset today. And this will be none other than Queen Yvonne. Over to you, Queen Sister.
Thank you, my sister. Greetings, everyone, and let's just get into it so we can hear from our speaker. Um, I'm calling this one from erasure to discernment. And I just want to welcome everybody as usual, thanking our Heavenly Father, the Creator, for His faithful provision and protection in our lives and bringing us here together again. All the glory belongs to Him. We say thanks. And to start, there is a famous line from the running world that says, "The art of competing is the art of forgetting." It says, you must forget your limits, you must forget your doubts, your pain, your past. Basically, focus. It sounds romantic, doesn't it? But if we're honest with ourselves, that is an impossible standard. Your mind does not have a delete key. When you force yourself to try to forget your anxiety, your limits, or the pressure in the room, what happens? You actually end up giving it your undivided attention. That's where your focus goes.
Yep.
You were never designed to blindly erase our inner landscape. We can't do it, actually. We were designed for discernment. Real strength is not about forced amnesia, then. It's about spiritual and mental stewardship. It's about learning how to put something aside, to, as the Bible says, to take every thought captive, examine it for what it truly is, and decide whether it gets to rule this moment or wait its turn outside the door. So, today, in a few minutes, we are sifting or shifting from the exhaustion of trying to forget and to go to the quiet authority of putting aside. That's the erasure part. And so, number one, I divided in section as always, is the trap of erasure. Let's talk about why trying to forget fails us. When fear, doubt, or physical fatigue rises up during a critical task, our immediate impulse is often panic or resistance. We tell ourselves, I shouldn't be feeling this. I need to get rid of this thought right now. But a thought resisted is a thought retained. Suppressing an internal distraction gives it total authority over your cognitive energy. It becomes the proverbial elephant in the room. You end up spending half your fuel fighting the fact that you feel nervous rather than doing the actual work in front of you. Spiritual maturity and mental resilience both require us to stop fearing the presence of those disempowering voices. We do not need to feel completely fearless, perfectly calm, or entirely unburdened to execute with excellence. The goal was never to become an unfeeling vessel. We are humans, human beings, not AI robots. So the goal is to master your reaction to what arises. Stop trying to force a blank mind and start changing your relationship to the friction. So, if forcing ourselves to erase the noise doesn't work, what's the alternative? We stop trying to clear the room and instead we change how we govern what enters it. That brings us to the actual discipline of execution, shifting from erasure to compartmentalization. And here is the discipline of that big word, compartmentalization. This brings us to the core practice of taking every thought captive. When a wave of doubt or memory of past failure enters our awareness, let's not panic and let's not run away from it. You capture it. You pause long enough to examine it. You ask, is this thought useful to the assignment in front of me at this moment? It carries wisdom for later. If it does, say, say it carries a lesson from the past mistake. You acknowledge that. But you recognize that while it may be valid data, it is a terrible driver in the middle of execution, whatever you're doing now. That is where active parking comes in. Picture placing that concern on a shelf outside the room. You aren't denying that the shelf exists. You aren't lying to yourself about your limitations or the real weight of the task. You are simply declaring that I see you, I acknowledge you, but you do not get a vote right now. I'm putting you aside until this work in front of me is done. And that is selective suspension. That's what it's called. It protects your energy and honors your stewardship over the present moment. Once you master setting that friction on the shelf, your entire definition of focus changes. It stops being a passive feeling where nothing bothers you and becomes an active spiritual posture. Let's look at what non negotiation looks like when you step into action. In the third part, you can focus now on non negotiation. True focus is not the total absence of internal noise. It is the absolute refusal to negotiate with it while you are in motion. Once you have examined the thought, taken it captive, and let it aside, your job is to close the door on the debate. High pressure situations will always try to invite you back into a dialogue with your insecurities. They will always whisper, are you sure you're ready? What if you fail like last time? And those kinds of questions. When you remain in a state of continuous negotiation with those thoughts, you bleed authority. Focus means establishing a hard operational boundary, processing stops, and execution begins. You focus and you do. You do not agree with the doubt on the shelf. You do not re examine the fear while you are on stage, at the desk, or leading the room. You place your attention on the singular assignment given to you in this exact minute, trusting that you have already placed what you cannot carry right now into higher hands. And so the takeaway, as you go through your day and step into high stakes moments when you must be present, remember this. Do not waste your valuable energy trying to achieve a state of zero pressure, zero doubt, or total forgetfulness. You can't do it. That is a human impossibility. Instead, practice the quiet strength of discernment. Take the thought captive, as I keep saying. Examine it, put it on the shelf, and step back onto the track. Focus is not the absence of doubt or friction. It is the disciplined refusal to negotiate with it while you are in motion. And I leave with a little acronym. It's a popular one. It's said focus. Follow one course until successful. This philosophy teaches you to avoid getting distracted by jumping between too many ideas or tasks at once. And it's simple. FOCUS. The F is for follow. Stay dedicated to your chosen path. The O, one, concentrate on a single goal. I know people talk about multitasking, but when you're looking for excellence, I don't think you can really do that. And the C is course. Choose a clear direction or path. And the U, until. Persist through challenges. Give it your all. And the S is successful. Achieving your desired outcome. Thank you for listening. That's me, Queen Canla. You know that. Short and sweet, as I like to say.
Ab-
Um,
Absolutely. Oh, a round of applause for you. Oh, I hope Meet In is able to, build in the applause so that we can be able to celebrate when we meet.
yes,
Thank you,
yes.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That was well said, and that was so relatable. And I want to give room to our brand ambassadors, Dream Team family, to others to give us a word or two from what they got from the mindset before we get right into introducing our guest speaker. So thank you, Queen. I have my notes. I wrote a little bit, but I want to give room for others to say something.
Thank you,
Dream
my
team,
dear. Thank
yeah,
you.
dream team leaders.
I don't see anything in the chat, so.
No, okay,
Hmm?
okay. Was someone about to say something? Okay, all right. Queen
Okay.
Nancy, we
Thank you, Queen
appreciate
Nancy.
we appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Oh wow,
and Elder
Elder
Pastor.
Harold.
Yes, yes, yes. So thank you all. I appreciate that. All
Okay, well,
right.
this
I wanted to say something. I don't know how to raise my hand here. Like
oh
I'm struggling with this with the new phone. It's just a struggle. One day I will get it.
Okay. Welcome.
So, Sister Yvonne, you always say short and sweet, but it's always short and very dynamic. Okay,
Thank,
if I'm
thank
talking
you.
about an atom bomb full of, like, it's packed. So I pick it. I'd always tell you that for me, it takes time to process what you said, but it's really profound. Thank you so much. As we
Thank you.
go along in the meeting, I'll also say my points because I also took some points. If I'm allowed to say something later, then I'll say something later, but not short and sweet, short and very powerful and profound. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you.
I think Queen Lorato, you just said it. Yes, yes, me too. I mean, it's a yes, and as we go along, there will be time for us to reflect back, or after you finish, when we get to the Q&D after our guest speaker, and then we can be able to combine both our engagement, our conversation about the topic for today, as well as the mindset. So keep them coming, and if for any reason you are not able to raise your hand, feel free. We have the chat, and the chat is open, where you can equally go in and write your comments, write your participation or your contribution to the conversation for the day. So thank you so much, Queen Lorato. Our Queen, Dr. Pad, is with us behind the scene. She's listening, and if she's able, she will, but if not, she is behind the scenes. So let us just be aware of that, and as well as not forgetting other leaders who are not yet here with us. They are running behind for different reasons, but that will be joining us. And when they come in, we want to hope that they will be able to participate as well in this conversation. So, without much further ado, it is time to introduce our guest speaker for the day and our webinar topic for today. Oh my gosh. I must say, the curiosity is what I couldn't hold back after I had the opportunity to talk with Dr. James Clarke. I tried to think and reflect, oh my God, what perspective, what dynamic is this topic going to be? And guess what? I found out I was not the only one, because when I sent out the flyer in one of the chat, I got a very exciting and curious question. What does this mean? And I was like, from the flyer, what do you think? What does the flyer tell you? And if you are curious, as I am as well, I invite you to come together so that on Sunday, let us find out. But I can assure you, you're not going to be wasting your time, because this is going to be a wonderful, powerful presentation that all of us are going to have something impactful to take with us. So I hope that my brothers and sisters who were curious and asking the question in one of the Dream Team chat, you are all here, and let us all find out together. So, our topic for today is the temple, our body, God's creation. Brought to us by Dr. Clarke James. A little background about him. He has 40 years plus in his field of expertise. He is the founder of Transformation Center, the JC Wellness Solution. He specializes in lifestyle medicine healing, and he shares knowledge, inspiring change, natural health expertise. He shares holistic wellness knowledge. He's an advocate, and he is dedicated to healing and inspiring you, me, everyone around the globe. And when I say around the globe, it means he is a global speaker, he is a global advocate in this field of expertise, coming with 40 years of experience. Our health, our wellness. It is an honor and it is a privilege, Doctor, for you to take your time off, for you to deem the Dream Team as a space where you want to extend that impactful knowledge with us, with this family, and to continue on that advocacy and to continue on sharing that knowledge within this community, and as well as sending it out, because I know for those that will watch on YouTube and those that will watch after we are done with the session, that is how we continue to spread the impactful knowledge that you are about to share with us today. So, without much further ado, I want to welcome you and hand over the microphone to you. And feel free to still share with us a little more or about your background for what I missed, or any other thing that you may want to still share with us. Over to you, Dr. James Clarke. Please join me in welcoming him.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I was definitely looking forward to this. And I am blessed. I am actually blessed from what has gone before, what has transpired. Um, that was a really short and powerful piece of inspiration. Really, really good information that was shared there just a while ago.
Thank you.
That was great. It was exciting, and I was all in. So my thing is that I follow my master, the master teacher. I strive like him to take the complexity out of things and to make it simple. And that is what Jesus was known for. He was a master teacher because he could impact every level of person that was in the hearing of his voice. And I try to do that as far as health is concerned. I try to take the complexity out of healthcare and just bring it down to basics as much as possible. Um, so, what we're going to deal with today, as I said, the temple, your body, the temple of God. That is a serious topic. Let me say that when we look at the body is a fascinating, well engineered, biochemical, mechanical, electromagnetic organism. It is written that we were fearfully and wonderfully made. And even when the early scientists started to look at the body and look at the cell, they themselves did not understand what the cell was like. They thought the cell was a three-part organism. Now we know that the simplest cell is more complex than the running of Manhattan. It is extremely complex, and it reflects our Creator Himself. It is amazing that we could be told that the body is the temple of God. That is an amazing thought to even contemplate. And it says something about us, and it says something about our Creator. The thing is, the body was never designed for death. It wasn't designed. Death and illness came in from some missteps. I am not going to go into theology or anything like that. But that is how that came about. But even as we live today, we could live an abundant life. We could live doing very well. We could live without the aches and without the pains. We could live without having to be on a ton of medication. And as we contemplate our body and the thought that it could be the temple of God, that would give us some idea as to how we should take care of it. So, what we are seeing today, what are we seeing these days? We're seeing a lot of health challenges. Things seem to be getting even worse. Things seem to be sliding. Things seem to be affecting younger and younger and younger people as we go forward. There are diseases that used to be associated with being older or old age, as it is called sometimes. But what we are seeing, these very said issues are now affecting our young people. And why is this happening? What is taking place? What we see is cardiovascular diseases is on the rise. We see diabetes on the rise. We see cancer on the rise. And the thing is, all of us here could actually, if I were to ask for the raise of hands, do you know anybody impacted with diabetes? And I know the answer would be yes. Do you know anybody impacted with things like hypertension and cardiovascular disease? The answer is still yes. Do you know anybody who have had a bout or a battle with cancer? And the answer is yes. But this is not what we were designed for. We weren't designed for that. But there are reasons why we find ourselves there. And this is why my specialty is lifestyle medicine. A lot of things that I call there, you would hear sometimes being discussed. And the reason that would be given for some of these diseases would be genetics. Was it in your family? Was it with your parents? Did your parents have issues with diabetes? Did they have issues with cancer? Did they have issues with this or that or the other? You know, is it running through your family tree? And genetics are usually blamed for a lot of things. And as a result, many people would just say, okay, well, then this disease or that disease is naturally my path. This is where I am going. This is where it is heading for me. There is nothing I could do about it because it is all genetic. And I am here to tell you that is not 100% true. As a matter of fact, most of the time, it is far from the truth. Epigenetics is what affects us more than anything. Yes, we could have a predisposition to certain things. But a lot of times, when we talk about genetics, sometimes what we are inheriting is not really problems with the genes, but it is problems with the lifestyle. We are a lot of times inheriting lifestyles from the past. And if you do the things that was done by the people in the past who had certain illnesses and certain health challenges, then you are likely to come down with the same thing. So it is not genetics in the sense that you cannot avoid. You cannot avoid falling into a certain trap. It is not that. It is more epigenetics. It has to do with your environment. It has to do with your choices. It has to do with your lifestyle more than anything else. More than anything else. So in my 40 plus years, I have had to battle the concept that some people have that if my dad has it or had it, if my mom has it or had it, then I am going to get it. And it takes a lot of education and trying to do as much as Jesus would do, use things are wrong to explain that this is in fact not so. So, what we are seeing again today, we are seeing a lot of metabolic disorders. And it's now that science is starting to link it. So they realize that even cancer has to do with metabolic malfunction. We are seeing a lot of that. And this is why we're seeing younger and younger and younger people. I remember like 20 years ago, when I am looking at females and some of the issues that they had. By the way, I'm talking to you from Trinidad. I am in the Caribbean right now, in Trinidad. Trinidad is right next door to Venezuela. It's just a few miles across. And this is where I'm speaking to you from right now. But 20 years ago, when I'm seeing female patients and we're dealing with OBGYN type issues, what used to be the issues that I used to see a lot. And not even a lot, I shouldn't say a lot. But some of the things I used to deal with was ovarian cysts. So, yes, you had some fibroid situations, but ovarian cysts in particular. And it was an easy fix. And it still is an easy fix. 20 years from then to now, what we are seeing even in our young women is what we call polycystic ovary syndrome. And what is driving things like that? What's going on that's causing that? And again, it has to do with a lot of choices. It's just that people do not know. But it has to do a lot with the choices that we make. Now, going back to the body as the temple, it doesn't matter what temple. It could be a Hindu temple, it could be a mosque, it could be a Jewish temple. But the concept of temple, it was a place where there was reverence. It is a place, and particularly in the Jewish system, where even when you had to come and do offerings, you had to bring the best. You had to be selective. You couldn't bring any and anything into the temple. And that's a big thing. So even when they were offering up lambs, it had to be a lamb without blemish. If it is a dove, it's the same thing. If it is grain, you have to bring the best quality. It was always the best, the purest, the cleanest that would be able to enter the temple. And why? Because God was present there. Paul says that our bodies, it is the third temple, and it houses God. And just taking that into consideration, that in itself should tell us our responsibility as to how we take care of this temple, one, and what we put into the temple. We should not be just careless as to what we put into the temple. You could not have done it in the temple in ancient times. That in itself could have caused your death. And what we are putting into our temples today is what is causing our death. So just contemplate the thought of your body being the temple. Contemplate even the choices that we make. And as I said, I deal with lifestyle medicine. You know, there are places on the earth called blue zones where people naturally live over 100 years. And not 100 years on a wheelchair, not 100 years with a walker, not 100 years using other devices for support, or having a bag hooked up to you, or an oxygen. And we would think it is simply because these areas are pristine. So when we think about the Himalayas and the Hansas, you know, we would say, oh, well, they are away from major civilization and activities, so they could do better. But what was amazing is that when National Geographic did a study on the blue zones, they found out that there is, in fact, a blue zone in America. In America? Yes, in America. In what state in America? California. California has the only blue zone in the United States. And there are only a few blue zones throughout the world. I watched a doctor at 90 something years old. He was featured on Oprah. And he was still doing surgery after crossing his 90s. That is no easy feat. It means that your hands have to be as steady as possible because it's surgery you're doing. You're not just a GP, you're not a general practitioner, you are a surgeon. And when they look at what's happening in Loma Linda, California, that's the blue zone, they were amazed at what was happening with the lifestyle there. And it is not that they were living in an area where it was just mountains and no modernization or anything like that. No. It had to do with lifestyle choices. So you're going to hear me repeating, I'm repeating for emphasis. I'm repeating that we should get it. Your body, the temple of God. How careful ought we to be as to what we put inside of it? So, what's happening with our young people? What's happening with everybody else? What's happening? Well, I live in the US, in Florida, and Whole Foods was one of my favorite place to shop. So you go to Whole Foods and you're going to see a lot of organic stuff. You could find almost anything there. Well packaged, organic, gluten-free, organic, gluten-free. But what is being offered most of the time is what you call ultra processed foods. And this is where a lot of the problems are coming. We have moved away for convenience from eating food as grown because it is easier and less time consuming to be able to simply grab a can of this and a can of that and a can of the other. And the more processed the foods are, is the less nutrient density in the food. Now, coming back to simply the purpose of eating. What's the purpose of eating? Is eating simply designed to fill your stomach? Is eating simply designed for satisfying taste? What is the real purpose of eating? The real purpose of eating is to provide nutrition. Nutrition that would protect your cells. Nutrition that would nourish the cells. Nutrition that is going to detox the cells. And we are built on a building block of cells. It is cells that form tissues. It is cells that form organs. It is cells eventually that form systems. And we are built on that. So when we are talking about health, We have to be thinking about it on a cellular level. So, a lot of the foods that we are eating today just does not have the nutrition. So, when we eat a fruit, for instance, the fruit would carry a number of things. It would carry, of course, it's fruit, so it's going to carry certain sugars. It is going to carry vitamins. It is going to carry minerals. It is going to carry amino acids. Some of them would carry essential fatty acids. But it also carries antioxidants, other type of phytonutrients, and all of that. But when we take that very fruit and we do some sort of a processing of it, then a lot of the phytonutrients, a lot of the very things that was placed in the fruit, what we find is that it's missing. So we're eating something and it just does not have what it was supposed to contribute to our body. So when we look at a lot of the average meals, and by the way, just as a note, a side note, before the Obama administration, we had something called the food pyramid. It was very confusing. After the Obama administration, we reintroduced another food pyramid, which is crazy. During the Obama administration, they took away the craziness. They simplified it. And they had something called My Plate. It was pretty simple. The plate was divided into three parts. A quarter of the plate, they say you ought to use your carbs. And always we would suggest complex carbs. The other quarter of the plate is your protein. And then the other half of the plate is fruits or vegetables, or fruits and vegetables. You see that structure right there? That was an ideal structure for health. It was ideal for health. We shift that away and we come back with this confusing thing called the pyramid, the food pyramid. And it isn't doing well. It isn't doing well at all. So I just went across to that because that was so simple. That was so well done. It was easy for people to understand. And the truth is today, if we should follow that as we structure our plate when we are putting our plate together, we are going to do a lot better than we're doing right now. A lot better. So, purpose of eating, to provide nutrition to the cells. There was an experiment that was run some years ago, although it said in the end that the guy cheated, but the concept was good. And it was talking about the eternal cell. So this scientist took a chicken cell, a cell from the chicken, and he decided to keep that cell alive. And as I said, the concept is good. So, what he did, he said there are two basic things to life. One is nourishing the cell, and two is removing toxins from the cell as fast as possible. And if we should do that, the cell would remain healthy for a very, very long time. In the experiment, it said that he had to terminate the experiment because the cell simply was living on and on and on. They said something was wrong with the study in the end. But the concept is a good one because the cell actually thrives on nutrition. It thrives on being hydrated, and it thrives on removing toxins. So if we could move toxins, and not just the toxins that people eat badly, but even metabolic waste in itself needs to be removed out. So coming back again to the choices. So what are we eating today? I would just share an experience. I was in Michigan with a friend, good friend, a fellow practitioner. And he says, James, I have to introduce you to soul food. So I was taken to a soul food restaurant. And it was scary for me, actually. It was very scary. I look at the amount of greasy foods. I looked at things like sweet potato being glazed. It meant it had to be covered with sugar. You had to glaze it. And I was saying, my God, it's sweet potato already. Why cover it with sugar? And yes, there was some collard greens, but the life was cooked out of it. I couldn't eat. They had to take me to a Mediterranean restaurant where I had more variety, better choices. So I'm saying, why are we sick? What is taking place in the world? Why are disease seeming to just be getting the upper hand? Why are so many people dealing with things like diabetes and cancer? And the rates are getting higher and higher. And as I said, people younger and younger ages are coming down with this. It simply has to do with our choices. So, in my clinic, I do not necessarily do diets. What we do is simply offer people. So we would run our blood test, and we do some live blood as well too, so that people might be able to see their red blood cells for the first time. For the first time, they're able to see white blood cells patrolling the plasma. They never saw anything like that. They're saying, but this is what's happening inside of me. Yes, even though the blood is outside of you, the white blood cells continue to work and to patrol and to look to deal with pathogens and to deal with toxins and so forth. So it is usually an amazing thing. I am doing this now for over 40 years, and I am still amazed every time I take a sample of blood and be able to watch what is happening in that one drop of blood. I am still blown away. So after we run our tests, various tests that we run, we go on to make recommendations. So we'd say, okay, this is what's going on here. You have a deficiency in this or in that or the other. You might have overtoxicity taking place in the system. So we go on to make recommendations. And even as we are adjusting lifestyle, and lifestyle is not just eating. So we have an acronym called HEAL, where it says healthy eating, active living. So it's not just eating, but a lot of times eating is a big part. It plays a big part. And what we would simply do, we would give them a sheet that covers all your various food groups. And we would have good choices, bad choices. And we would simply say, look, your goal is to try, as you go through the list and you realize what is harmful, is to switch. You would not be able, well, most people are not able to shift everything at one time. So we say to shift gradually. Just do start replacing. Start in one area and start replacing. Shifting from the bad to the better choices, from the bad to the better choices. And without putting people under pressure, people would respond and call and be amazed at how fast that their body actually responds to the food. They sometimes they say, but I didn't even take any supplements yet. No. But they stopped putting certain negative things in and replaced it with the better things. Again, the purpose of eating is to provide nutrition, provide protection for your cells, is to nourish the cells, help your cells to repair, and to remove toxins out of your system. So it is said that it's an old adage that disease starts in the gut. In the gut. And when we understand that, and it is a truism, it is truth, all it really starts in the mind as far as choices. But it is the gut that's affected. And once the gut becomes imbalanced, and we are able to see things like that in some of the tests that we do, a lot of people, their gut is inflamed and so forth. So we're able to see it, and they themselves are able to see it. Once we could bring the gut back to balance, things start improving. Because the gut regulates so many things. It is the seat of our emotion. There are more neurons in your gut than in your brain. As a matter of fact, there are more signaling taking place from the gut to the brain than from the brain to the gut. So it is in your gut where it is going to send signals back to the brain and saying, okay, this is going on, this is what needs to be released. Signals go up, the brain communicates with different organs, and so forth. And things are kept in balance. But if our gut is messed up, if our digestion is not functioning well, if we have buildup of plaque on the walls of the gut, where you find pathogens hide between the real lining and the artificial lining that is built. It's like a rubber. Then problems start taking place, because what you would find is that there's going to be an overgrowth of things like yeast. So in the gut, and I know that you are aware, you have prebiotics and probiotics. Well, more probiotics. The prebiotics is usually what we would feed the probiotics with. So we're talking about good, healthy bacteria that actually is going to help to produce things like B vitamins and other vitamins itself. Excuse me. Yes, excuse me with that. I put my phone on do not disturb and I don't know how that call came through. Yes, so we have good bacteria, we have bad bacteria, or what we would call bad bacteria and bad organisms. But some things sometimes we call things bad, and it's not bad, it's just it becomes bad once it is overpopulating the area, once once the balance has shifted. So, what we see in the gut would naturally carry things like yeast because it helps to break down matter. Once things are thrown off in the gut, you would usually have an overgrowth of yeast. Hence, you would find things like bloating taking place a lot. What the yeast would do is to produce mild inflammation, and that is going to end up damaging the very membrane where it is able now to make the gut leaky because the size of the cells are too large to get into your bloodstream. So their objective is to get into your bloodstream because the bloodstream is like a superhighway to every organ. And we see that a lot. So we do blood and we see some people have a serious overgrowth of yeast. But before you come to that, you could actually see it in their gut area where it is distended and there's a lot of bloating and they're having a hard time. Once we get that gut regulated, things start to improve. Now, I'm looking at my time. So, even as we thrive to improve our health, even by making good choices, I, as a practitioner, would still end up doing supplementation. And I tell people this, however, that supplementation is not substitution for making good choices. But it has become very necessary these days. Why? Because of our agricultural practices. So, for instance, I would just share this. If you buy food grown commercially and you were to run some test on it. So some of the things like, for instance, there are foods that carry chromium, which is responsible for, again, metabolizing of sugar. But when you check the foods that are grown commercially, you would realize the soil, because of the fertilization, have destroyed the chromium. So foods that are supposed to be chromium rich, you just don't have the chromium anymore. You just don't have it. So a lot of the things still look good, but they just do not carry. So if you look at an orange from 20 years ago, what you would get then to what you're going to get now, you would probably have to take about 8 oranges to get certain nutrients. It just does not have it. Hence the reason for supplementation. Today, there's a big thing on the market, and I started to talk about metabolic disorder and metabolic syndrome. There's a big thing in wellness and in medicine today, and we are talking about peptides. Peptides are the buzzwords right now. And there's a particular peptide that you hear about a lot. As a matter of fact, they said 1 in 10 Americans are on this peptide. It's called GLP-1. GLP-1 was designed to deal with metabolic disorder. It was designed for the pre-diabetics and the diabetics. They end up repurposing the drug, and it's a drug, by the way. They end up repurposing the drug simply because they realize that they were getting an unexpected big benefit of weight loss. So they repurposed it for weight loss more than anything else. Because this drug works for weight loss better than anything else in the history of medicine when it comes to weight loss. And they repurpose it for that. But in the natural sense, it's nothing new. We have GLP-1s, we have GLP-2s in our body. It helps to regulate metabolism. It helps to deal with insulin sensitivity. But our eating habits, again, has damaged that. And this is why you find so many people are insulin resistant. So there are things that could be done for that. There are natural things, there are natural supplements, there are natural foods that would help to improve that. So as I get ready to sort of a close up, just some tips, simple tips. Back to the Obama administration, My Plate. That is an ideal way to eat. Simply shifting your food, your plate like that. Where you could have a quarter of your plate, carbs, and again, I would suggest complex carbs. The other quarter, protein. Again, try to get your best source of proteins. And by the way, don't have to be meat only, because if you do enough grains and beans and so forth, you would get your complete protein. And the other half is vegetables and fruits. Why? Why 50% of your meal should be that? For one, it is full of fiber. So it helps to sweep the colon. It helps to clean the gut up. But more than that, it is also providing prebiotics for the probiotics in your gut to bring back balance. On top of that, it is providing a lot of nutrition, a lot of anti-cancer nutrition. Once you have enough fiber in, even the release of sugars are slowed down. So your pancreas do not have to work as hard. What we've seen a lot today, I could tell you this, is fatty liver syndrome. Long time, well, years ago, when you hear somebody had fatty liver issues, it had to do with alcoholism. They were doing a lot of alcohol. Today, we have some people who never tasted alcohol and yet have severe fatty liver issues. Again, it has to do with the amount of empty calories that we are consuming. And if your liver is under pressure, believe you me, your health will not be well. Your liver deals a lot of, or deals with a lot of metabol, metabol, metabolizing of from your fats to your sugar. Some people don't realize that the liver actually handles sugar as well. They think it's simply your pancreas, but your liver plays a role there as well too. And if your liver is not functioning well, your whole metabolic process is impaired. But when it comes to dealing with toxicity, it is your liver that breaks down a lot of the toxins. So as we close up, remembering that our bodies are the temple of God. Therefore, we ought not to be careless with it. We're not to be careless as to what we put in it. We need to eat food that's food. And that's another text in the word. It says that they spend their money on things that are not food. So we eat things that's not food. Food could only be classified as food when it nourishes, when it serves its purpose. So, again, simple things, increase your water. Simple. Get enough sunlight. Early morning sunlight is good. You're talking about exercising, getting fresh air. So this morning I was late, but I don't live too far from the botanical gardens here in Trinidad. So it's just very nice in the morning when you could go there, you're hearing all the birds, you're seeing the big yellow and blue parrots, the macaws, and you're hearing all these noise, but the fragrance of the place, the freshness of the air. So I went and I did just over an hour brisk walking, but it feels good. The sunlight actually helps to balance out your system, just the sunlight in itself. You know? So again, prayer cannot get rid of that because prayer helps you with your management of stress. We had good advice earlier as how to manage situations. I used to live on a code where it says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the power to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. How I ended up with that at somewhere in my when I was around 14 years old, I got that somewhere and I just stuck to that. So up till now, people would still ask me, James, how you manage the level of stress? There are stressors that you cannot avoid. The thing is how you react to it. I was telling one friend, I said, look, you cannot change. It was an issue with her mom. I said, you cannot change your mom, you know. Don't even attempt. What you could change is how you respond to your mom. Your mom is set in her ways clashing with some of your ways. So say, pray and ask God to help you in how you respond to the things that cause you to be uncomfortable. And sometimes things are there to actually help us to grow because we have some issues too. You know? But as I said, things like prayer is absolutely necessary. I mentioned water before. we need to be hydrating. Water does so many things. I have seen water simply increasing people's water intake because they were drinking like 2 glasses of water for the day. And just shifting that got rid of their hypertension, improved their circulation, deal with neuropathy, deal with vision. I have seen that. And I have my own personal testimony on a flight. I was on a flight and I had an issue on my spine. And I just thought that the cabin pressure in the plane might have caused some problems, and it did. I closed my eyes, laid back in my seat, and when I opened my eyes, I couldn't see. Not a thing. It wasn't blurry, I just could not see. I had one of my friends sitting next to me. I just said, Wayne, I didn't let him know that I couldn't see because he would start to panic. I said, could you just call the flight attendant for me and get some water? You know, because I just relaxed in this situation. And he did just that. The water came, I got the water, I drank. I got a second glass and I drank. And slowly my vision came right back. It took me about a month to come back 100%, but it came back like 90 something percent just by drinking some water. Water affects so many things. So as we talk about lifestyle, that is part of the lifestyle, to make sure that you are hydrated enough. Because if you are not, it affects your circulation, and it comes like you are on an early morning trip to work, and the freeway, the highway is congested. Everything slows down. Water improves that circulation. You need circulation to transport nutrition and to remove toxins. So again, we are not just physical, we are spiritual, we are emotional. So we need to take care of those things as we look to deal with having perfect, well balanced health. So I would pause here and take questions. And well, it was a pleasure being with you. And I didn't just share, I received a lot in the time, even leading up to before I speak, I received a lot. So I want to say thank you for inviting me on.
Thank you, Dr. James. That was powerful, really. A
Thank
master
you, Dr.
class.
James.
Yes, yes, yes.
Indeed, that
Mm-hmm.
was that was phenomenal. That was nothing short of phenomenal. So powerful. Oh, the emojis are coming. The Lord,
Oh, thank you, thank
appreciation.
you,
Queen Dr.
thank
Nadu. Yes, we see Brother Hero. Oh, wow. Yes, yes. Please keep them coming. Dr. James deserves the recognition. That was powerful. I don't even think we will be able to eternalize everything right now or even do it because that was
Yes.
packed full.
Mm-hmm. It's
I felt
actionable. It's actionable. You have to make notes and go through it, digest
correct.
it, right? Yeah, it's not a one shot thing.
you. No.
Yeah, no.
Dr. James, I felt like you were talking to me particularly because I am there were some aspects I was already guilty with, and I'm like, oh, oops, oh, okay. So I have my counts of those actionable points that I am
Mm-hmm.
guilty with,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I am going to follow up and make sure I start correcting them myself. So
Absolutely.
this was just powerful. Well, Queen Yvonne, let us listen what you have to say,
Uh,
To
uh,
Dr.
you
James.
know, I just love how it's been laid out. It's there's no hype. It's so empowering because everything that you were saying can be done. It's accessible. It's not going to be done overnight, as you say, if we've been, as they call it, bad to ourselves. But the
Mhm.
initial part of what you're saying is that the body is something sacred. It should be treated that way, just like how you would treat anything that has to do with whoever our divine person is. If in our case, as I'm assuming Christian believers, it says that God lives inside us. So
Yes.
to have him living inside us, how can we be putting all this junk, which he didn't even create, all some of the things that we're putting down there, he would say, I mean, he knows what it is, but he would think, why would you be eating this? How can I be living juxtaposed to this? So the one thing that you didn't mention, which is a little bit of problems that I have with, is sleep. And maybe you did mention it. I stepped away for a minute.
No, no, I did not. I actually missed that. That is part of the.
Yeah, because
Yes.
that is a little bit of my issue because I'm a one of those monkey minds type person, and but they are telling me that there are things that I can do, so I'm trying to mitigate for that as well. But this is a powerful, and as I said, I have to laugh at what the GLP, whatever, Ozempic, how everything can turn out into money making for these people who they don't care about the human being at all
Mm,
because neither one of those things were good. The drug, as far as I know, the initial drug, the Ozempic, did not serve people well because it had so many issues. And then even the GLP-1, it's because we want overnight success. It takes a long time for us to get into human beings, I'm talking, for us to get into problems, and then we want the quick fix. But
mm.
sometimes the quick fix takes us further down into that bad place. I'm going to use that simple word. It's bad for us to do that to our bodies because generally we bounce back and forth between the bad and the good. And as you keep that word that you kept stressing, it's a lifestyle thing. So thank you, Dr. James. It's a very powerful and simply expressed presentation. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Wow. Thank you, Queen Yvonne, for that contribution.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Mhm.
Okay, let's look in the
In the
well,
chat.
maybe yes, we can just open it up for conversation, dialogue, D&T, Q&D, question and discussion, or questions and answers. So, if there is any other dream
I will
team
begin.
member,
Sorry, sis. Sorry, Queen. I'll read what's in the chat from Nancy Jody. She says, "Thank you, Dr.
mhm.
James, for your amazing presentation. We hear these wonderful mindsets every day, but we are hard headed, refuse to change our bad daily habits until it's too late. I really appreciate you sharing with us." Very true, Queen Nancy.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And Dr. Patience has a nice little heart, right? A love heart there for him. And she also says, "Can't wait for the next part." So there you go. Dr. James knows that he's on deck to return.
Okay.
that that is wonderful. Okay, so then let if I may come back,
Mhm.
Dr. James, you made mention about how we are attributing blame now for all the illnesses, or most some of the illnesses now, to genetics.
Analytics.
And I find that fascinating because this is something that has been bugging me for a long while. But I mean, I'm not in the health field, I'm not a specialist to try to figure out, even if I've been reading, but for some reason it just doesn't add up to me, because everything cannot be blamed to genetics. Because I saw my parents, my great grandparents live and live long, and there was nothing regarding these illnesses that was associated to genetics. Even then, the infrastructure, the healthcare infrastructure that we have is not what we have today.
Mhm.
It was not as well sophisticated, good, but yet these forms of illnesses and the genetic form of it, we never heard it. Even as children, yes. I mean, I understand sometimes parents never shared what they were going through, but it doesn't come close to what it is today. And also the fact that it's not only now with the aging population, our parents, but now with the young people. So, can you please just share a little more light on? I mean, I understand it's the food, it's the lifestyle, but do we understand it? How is that mindset for us to be able to break that blindness? You talked about education. How can we break that brainwash that telling us is about genetics, but meanwhile, it's not entirely about genetics?
Well, I had an issue with some research doctors that came to Trinidad, and they were on radio and they were talking about diabetes.
Mhm.
And even though they themselves call it a lifestyle disease, they said even if you change your lifestyle and your numbers become normal, you are still diabetic.
Yes, yes.
So, how do you determine if somebody was became diabetic in the first place? It had to do with the numbers, you know. So now that you change your life, so what you are being taught is not to even believe your numbers. They said if you are diabetic, you are diabetic for the rest of your life. You have to be on medication for the rest of your life.
Rest of your life. Yes.
And that is the things that we try to break to help people to understand that is not true. And it simply is not true. If lifestyle caused the problem, definitely lifestyle, a change of lifestyle could fix the problem. Your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body is not a car that when the
Mhm.
part wear out, that's the end of that part that you probably have to replace. We do a lot of replacement stuff right now in medicine, but your body is not like that. Your body is constantly in a state of repair. Your cells are being repaired daily and replaced daily. You understand? It is in a constant state of repair. So it is not to say, well, this goes bad and that's it. There was one time in literature they said that if Bale's brain cells get damaged, that's it for you.
Mhm.
And you can pull those books now, and then when you watch at modern science, they're telling you that is not true. Your body is even able to rewire
Sure.
because
Yes.
we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We were designed. It.
I know you're passionate about this, and I agree with you.
I see.
We were
Yes,
designed to repair ourselves and heal ourselves. We were designed.
exactly. And
Yes.
this is what is good. So what happened? A lot of times we have to get out of the way, and when we are told that if we um, are diagnosed as being diabetic, for instance, I'm just using that because it is so prevalent,
Yeah.
that you will have to be on medication for the rest of your life. That is true if you follow their protocol.
Yeah.
It is so people who have been on medication for 40 years. There are
Yes.
people who have been on
Yes.
and
Yes.
they are not getting better. There's a constant gradual slide downwards. I had one of my clients who got a stroke right in my office here.
Oh dear.
And we were able to revive her in just a matter
Please,
of seconds.
just a minute, Dr. James.
Could you could
Please,
you hear?
could you? All right. Thank you,
Right.
Queen.
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay.
Queen Lorato. All right. Yes. Please
Sorry
back to
about
Yes,
you,
that, Dr.
Dr.
James.
James.
that's
Dr.
fine.
Clark.
So she got a stroke. I heard the her daughter screaming, "Mommy's get." I had just gone to make something for her to drink. Well, for the others, she had gotten her stuff already because I had some functional coffee that works very, very well. So I just wanted her to try some. So I went in the kitchen to get another cup for somebody else. And the daughter started to scream, "Mommy is having a stroke." And she became a stroke expert because her husband had a massive stroke and then he had some following strokes. So she know the signs. So when I rushed to the area here, my work area, there it was, she was having a stroke. Um, I went and I got some natural products that we had here, some supplements. I had about a third of an ounce, no, two-thirds of an ounce in a bottle. And I just squeezed open her mouth, emptied it into her mouth so it could get under the tongue, straight into her bloodstream, and immediately just dilated the blood vessels. And in seconds, she started to focus again. And in a minute, she was talking and saying, or asking, "Where am I?" and all of that, And however, fast tracking from that, which was over a year ago, the daughter told me that, "Mommy put in a pacemaker." Since mommy put in that pacemaker, mommy's life has changed. She's no longer active. She was already in her 80s.
Hmm.
Now she have totally slowed down. And she did not have to go that way, but having access, sometimes people just have access to the quick fix and the medication and the advice. So you don't go and get a second opinion. The doctor says to do so and so, so you just follow blindly and you did it. Now you can't reverse that because mommy already went in, put in the pacemaker. Now you're seeing for yourself that instead of she being in a better position, she's now in a worse position. And many people see things after the fact where it becomes harder to deal with. So coming back to the diabetes and being on medication for the rest of your life. It is true because once you are on that protocol, the protocol was never designed for repair. The protocol is all about disease management. So if you're taking something that is not designed for repair, it cannot repair. If, however, you make the lifestyle changes, and you're going to start feeling it because your body is so forgiving. It is like the very God that designed it. From the time you start treating the body well and cooperating with the body, you start feeling it immediately. And sometimes we have to just go through, sometimes we might need, and just like about 6 weeks or sometimes less, you could change your taste buds and you could acquire a taste for real food again. Sometimes I taste food in the US and I could taste all the chemicals. It's not food, you know? And but you get accustomed to it. Your brain got accustomed to it. So sometimes you have to reprogram yourself to getting accustomed to eating real food again. But the first thing is to recognize that your body can heal itself. The thing is, you have to give it the raw material for it to be able to do so. If you are not giving it the raw material, so basically on a vitamin chart, I don't have one at hand here. On a vitamin chart, if you go up and you pull up one online, you would see vitamin A, deficiency. So if you have a deficiency of vitamin A, one of the things you would experience is night blindness. If you have too much vitamin A because it is a fat soluble vitamin, it could have some negative effects. But you could have night blindness and you could be prescribed medication Rather than testing to see if you have a deficiency in vitamin A. You did not have a deficiency in some of the medication. It were never part of your diet or your human of your physical structure, your biochemical structure. It was never part of that. So what we need to do is put in the things that missing. We need to
Absolutely.
feed our body with the things that it needs to do its repair. And if we do that, your body will repair. People tend to forget that they came from a sperm and an egg, and it had everything there to create an entire human being. You would see deformity sometimes, but you would not see somebody nose on their knees. You will not see that at any time because the body has its intelligence. Each cell has its intelligence. And this is why you have cells like stem cells that is not differentiated. It could turn into any cell, but it has the potential. So it could turn into a heart cell, it could turn into a liver cell, it could turn into any cell because it has all the potential in that to do that. You know, and you just did not become an adult just like that from a baby to an adult. It was constant repair and building, constant repair and building, constant repair and building as we go through the years. So your body knows exactly what to do. So we have to just try to break through and help people to understand. The convenient thing about medicine and blaming things on genetics, it takes away responsibility from the individual. So the individual has no responsibility. This is because of my parents. So I am not accountable. I am not accountable. So I could eat all the crap, I could do everything, but I am not accountable. That is because my parents and my grandparents passed that on to me.
Not true.
And we need to realize that that has no truth in it. We could change things. So even though mommy or dad was heavy diabetic and lost a limb, it does not mean this has to be our destiny. And
Amen.
if we shift that,
That
we
is profound.
Amen. It is. Um, Queen Carla, Sister Loretta has her hand up, and then there's a message in the chat from Dr. Benny. So if you want to go with her, Sister Loretta first, she's been waiting for a while. I hope she can still speak to us.
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me, sis?
Yes.
So first of all, thank you so much, sir, for such profound information. And yeah, it's been so packed. We are grateful, and I hope that all of us will reflect and make necessary changes because longevity is wonderful, and not only to grow old, but also grow old healthy without walkers, without whatever, and still be healthy. What
Yes.
I wanted to ask is the stress. You know, stress is one of the factors also that stress can kill. And a lot of our lifestyles are very stressful, especially in the first world with people are in offices, from offices, you're just moving through just one thing to the other. People don't spend time in nature. People don't spend time just distressing and regulating their nervous system. So I don't know if it's part of what you want to mention, especially because I think also stress takes a toll on people's bodies. Can you mention something about that?
yes, most certainly. When you're talking about stress, stress is responsible for so much. It affects the entire system. As I said, we're not just physical, we are emotional as well. And at the center here, we try to deal with the body as a whole. Even people who need prayer, we would pray, you know? So we try to deal with that. And what you would find, once you are very stressed, So you find yourself in this vortex. You're spiraling and spiraling down because stress depletes things like magnesium. Stress depletes your B vitamins. And it is your B vitamins and your magnesium that actually helps with the regulation of stress. So it has taken away the very thing that you need to help you manage. Sometimes it throws off your hormones so much. So I remember one of what we call my daughter's godmother, and she would stay just like that and start crying. Kathy, what's wrong? Why are you crying? I don't know. Kathy hormones was so off. So sometimes we just give Kathy something to use, and within an hour, Kathy is back to normal. But stress. So we have to do some things to distress. As I said, some stressful conditions you cannot get out of them. So it's about how you manage them. And also supplementation actually helps with that management because it gives you an edge. So sometimes people are just depleted minerally. So you need to get back some minerals. Sometimes it is your vitamins like B12 and B6 in particular. Vitamin B6 is what you call the mood vitamin. So if we're talking mood vitamin, then you know it is able to help you to manage stress. Because once you could get that in, but just imagine you are depleted, you are low in B6, you are low in magnesium. Life around you is stressful. How then are you able to cope? So one of the things you do is to see exactly where you are and see if you could start supplementing with that to build back up your score, and therefore you would find right away and look for things. So you have um, the Bible says that the herbs of the field is for the healing of the nation, and it says even in Revelation, in the earth made new, it talks about that too. So we have things here. I tell people, disease did not catch God by surprise. He's not reactionary when it comes to anything that takes place with humanity. As a matter of fact, when we were made, before we were made, he put everything in place. And you could actually see him stepping back, observing, wondering, is there anything that could be added here? And then at the end, come to his conclusion. It was good. Yes. So we have things here naturally that is going to help us. So things like ashwagandha, what we would call um, adaptogenic herbs, they help and they go a long way to help us to manage stress. But things like breathing, if you learn to do proper breathing, it helps to manage stress. Exercise. I I can share some stuff about me. I had a bad, what do you call it, divorce. But it hit me, it blindsided me. I did not I just wasn't ready. I just didn't see it coming. And I was an emotional wreck. I mean, I was, do not try to talk to me, and worse yet, put your hands on my shoulder to try to comfort me.
Mm.
I am going to go into a whole crazy convulsion of emotional, it's tears and everything. You know, after mostly 2 months of that, I decided to join the gym. On my second day in the gym, all of that went.
Yeah.
By the gym, the exercise produced hormones that helped to regulate what imbalance there was there. And and literally in 2 days. So I am telling some of the people at the gym, that my wife and I separated, and the instructor knew me well because he was from where I live. He's telling the young lady there, do not believe him. That is not true. Because we were so, everybody know my wife and I to be so close. Even her dad was saying, James, what are you all trying? He was not accepting it either. So it caught me off guard.
Yeah.
But I am telling you, 2 days into exercising, into gymming, shift everything around. Produced a lot of endorphins.
Endorphins, yeah.
Yes.
You
And that
know,
shifted
and as
everything
you
around.
said, the body is very forgiving, isn't it? You give it what it
Very
needs, yes, and it just sucks it up.
Yes. So
Just sucks.
again, for the stress, we cannot change some situations, but we could do something about it, work on
Yeah.
ourselves, make sure our supplementation is proper. As I said, again, substitute supplementation is something that is absolutely necessary these days, because sometimes we are eating certain foods expecting to get so much out of it, and it just does not have it. It
Doesn't
doesn't
have.
mean that we shouldn't eat it, but we need sometimes to supplement. So it's a good thing to go to somebody, even if you do a CBC. A CBC would give you your vitamins and your minerals and stuff like that, your amino acids, and so you could see what's going on. So a CBC might be a good place to start, and then you could take it from there.
Good. Thank you again, Dr. James. I just have a
Thank you,
comment
Dr.
about that. Oh, sorry about Queen Kanda. Quick comment about that. Some of these traditional doctors, they go for the lowest common. So even if those levels are not quite markers low, they will
Yes,
still say you're okay. And so
yes,
you have no way of knowing, right?
yes, yes.
Because yeah, when you have those blood panels and those CBCs, they will just be satisfied with the lowest, the lowest number.
And that's so true. Again, another story. I'm a storyteller like my savior. I can't help it. And I've been down here for 71 years now, so I have some
Mm,
stories to tell.
yes.
So, but at one time, my body was overheating. I mean, the air coming out, my breathing was blistering my
No,
nostrils. It was
trails.
blistering.
Yeah.
So it was. So I went in, I had friends at the hospital. So I went in, I said, look, I want you to run everything for me. Take whatever blood you want. I want to see everything. And in the end, when they've got the results, they're saying, James, nothing is wrong with you, and you have gone to doctors. You are experiencing a lot of stuff, and they are telling you
Yeah.
nothing is
Nothing is wrong
wrong
with
with you. So after I go through the panels myself, I looked at everything. Then I realized, I said, oh, is auto intoxication taking place here? I need to really get some toxins. Our toxins are going back into my bloodstream and it's causing a problem. And I was able to fix that within a week. You
Wow.
understand?
Yeah.
But they said everything was
It
fine
was okay.
because
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
you are down to the end
And
in the
yes,
where it is called normal,
I
and they say
know.
everything is fine, but it is not fine.
No, you have to really exist, and as they say today in the culture, you have to advocate for yourself or have someone else for you. You just can't walk in there cold and walk out with the information that you're being given and just take that as as gospel. You
Yes,
can't. You can't.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
Thank you, Dr. James. Queen Lerato, are you finished? Or I see your hand is still up. Are you okay?
No, no, no. I'm done, sis. It's good to mention stress because, like, it was mentioned that stress
Absolutely.
management is very important. So thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, sister. Queen Carla, shall I read Dr. Bennett's comment now, please?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, Dr. Benny in Tinglet, she's saying, thank you so much, Dr. J. Clarke, for this powerful and inspiring presentation. The reminder that our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, as taught in 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, is truly meaningful. Your message encouraged us to recognize the value of our bodies and to honor God by taking good care of ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. Thank you for sharing this important message and for reminding us that caring for ourselves is also an expression of gratitude to God. Amen. Yes. May
Amen.
God continue to bless you with wisdom, strength, and grace as you inspire and encourage others. And to God be all the glory. Thank you, Queen Benny.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Queen, our First Lady Dream Team.
Yes. That's
Thank
it for
you.
me, Queen Kanda. Thank you.
Okay. I think we can keep on. There is still so much that we can talk about, but I just believe if we finish everything today, then Dr. James Clark may not have any reason to come
Need
back
to
to
come back.
us next time. But
We don't want that.
and we don't want that.
We
So
don't.
I'm going to hold up on my other questions for the next series, and then so that by the time you come back I would have gone back, done more reflection, and have questions to ask. So at this point in time I will want to say we are
Hello.
grateful. Oh,
Hello, Dr.
hey, all
Derek.
right, Dr. D. Yes, yes, Dr. D.
Is my hand not up?
No, it wasn't
No.
showing. Now it just came up. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
My hand was up for a while now and nobody
Oh,
Oh,
saw
sorry.
me.
sorry about that,
We
Dr.
were not
Derek. We would
seeing
never
you.
ignore you. No way.
Oh
We
my.
were not seeing you.
Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our queens and all our kings on this platform and those that are on the varied YouTube channels. Really appreciate, really appreciate. Thank you very much, Queen Yvonne Finn, for
Thank
that
you.
awesome
Thank you, Dr.
presentation.
Derek.
Mindset is my thing,
I know.
because mindset affects every
Every,
area of our lives,
yes.
every area it touches. And when we don't have a good mindset, it doesn't even matter how much money you have. If you don't have a good mindset, you are already at a loss.
Mm.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I always say that 90%, 93% now of persons that win the lotto don't have anything to show within 3 years because they don't have a good mindset.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Dr.
much,
Derek. Thank
King Dr. James. Really appreciate you also. Thank you very much for joining us here on Dream Team, keeping the dream alive. Thank you very much for the awesome presentation. Really appreciate, really appreciate. You see, um, just as you said, people refuse to make a choice. But even when they refuse to make a choice, they have made a choice,
Yes, sir.
unfortunately. Let us kind of understand that because we have an immune system and a lot of people live to eat. that's, that's how a lot of people live. They just live to eat. It doesn't matter what they eat, when they eat, how they eat, the time they eat, they just eat because that's what they live to do. And there's some of us that eat
To live.
to live. Now, one of the things that I would like you to address quickly is is really prevention. Because my great grandmother Dingy normally says prevention is better than cure. And so that's one of the things that I love is after you resolve, because a lot of people think that it's just a quick resolve, that they
Mhm.
need to resolve this issue and resolve this issue. And that's what the doctors do also. They might kind of resolve this issue. So I have two questions really. A lot of supplements, because I notice you talk about supplements. But a lot of supplements is even more trash than anything else. Some of them is even placebo,
Uh,
that you buy and you pop in your mouth and nothing really happens. All
yes.
right, and they are telling you that they put this fruit and that fruit and this fruit, and but why not just eat the fruit with respective to where the health is concerned? um, and self-control, very important. Why is self-control an important part of caring for our body? What does self-control looks like in our everyday life, and how can we avoid becoming obese? Because I think it's like 65% of Americans are obese, and that's not good. As you said, I think even children as early as kindergarten are now being obese. So that's my kind of overall question.
Okay, sir. Well, the thing is, like I believe, just as you said, an ounce of prevention is still better than a pound of cure. It is still so. So, how do you avoid? Again, it has to do with choices. And choices sometimes start with from parenting, is how you parent. So it's what you grow up your children with. You know, it is kind of a strange that my if I ask my daughters today if they had a choice to go to a restaurant where they would like to go, they would still say they would I have two young daughters. They are 24, 25. They would still say sweet tomatoes. Sweet tomatoes was our place of choice because as you enter sweet tomatoes, the first thing you're going to meet is the salad bar. So you get your plate, and there you are, you're making your own salad choices. And you're going down. So you're getting your greens, you're getting your olives, you're getting your mushrooms, you're getting your nuts, your seeds, your everything, your chickpeas, and all of that. And you go down the line. And then after we get that, of course, they used to also like that it had muffins too, and some other little things as well. But it was their choice. So sometimes we just did not get that in growing up. So as we grow up now, we have to just make some decisions on our own. We have to see what is working and what is not working for us. So those of us who do not have any health challenges at all, the thing is to keep it so. And how you keep that so is again by continuing to make the better choices. Eating food as grown is better than eating processed food. Simple as that. Eating food as natural, as closer it is to nature. The closer it is to nature, then it is better for us. It means that it carries more enzymes, it carries more nutrition, it has life. So even when we talk about beans and peas and all of those things, some of those things, it would even work better if we could sort of soak them, sprout them, and so forth. But that would, I don't want to go into that particularly this evening, but it has to do with making the better choices. Because you have to realize that, okay, with your car, you have a vehicle. You don't put any fuel in it. If the vehicle is designed for what we would call premium or some high octane, that is what you're going to put in it, and you certainly wouldn't put diesel in a gas engine. And we just have to just forget everything and just make the choice and take responsibility. What is happening in the world now is that people are not taking responsibility. They don't want to be accountable. And this is why it's so easy to blame it and to accept certain things. And also to look for quick fixes, which are never fixes. How you could call something as a quick fix when you are on medication for 5, 10 years, counting, going on and on and on. It is not a fix. It simply is not a fix. So we just need to see that. So again, you have something called New Start that we do. That's an acronym again, and it's nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, um, temperance, excuse me, temperance. Again, what we're talking about being moderate in things and making, not eating everything that you can and all of that. You need to be temperate. You need to do things in moderation and so forth. And that goes down the list with sleep and rest, and pray. So these are some of the things that we need to put in place to make sure that we do not get there. I am 71, and again, it's not no boasting anything, but I'm 71 and I do not have any challenges, and it's simply because I made a decision, a conscious decision, to eat a particular way, and to make better choices, because I do not want to have to go through certain things. I don't know anything that is attractive about diabetes or arthritis, worse yet, cancer. And by the way, let me just interject here, cancer is not a death sentence. Let me just say that again. Cancer is not a death sentence. Sometimes the diagnosis is worse than the disease itself because you believe that once you hear cancer, that's the end of the road for you, you know? And again, when we look at what brought things on, we can make choices that is going to be able to turn that around. I am very responsible. I am very, very responsible when it comes to dealing with people's health and dealing with people's lives. So I don't take things for granted. The other thing that you spoke about is supplements. A lot of supplements out there are trash. In a lot of formulations, there's something called fairy dusting. So you just took a little bit of this and you put in that and a little bit of that. Nothing that has therapeutic value. So it is not even 1% of the therapeutic value. So I sometimes wonder how you could have a 5 milligram um, tablet or capsule that carry 100 different things in it, that carry 40 fruits. How in heaven's name that is possible? It is fairy dusting. It does not have any effect on you because it does not have the therapeutic. If you're dealing with energetics and you're dealing with frequencies, then you could do something like that. You could use frequencies because your body is frequency. That's another topic at another time, because everything is frequencies. The Every color that you see color registering as color because it is vibrating at a particular frequency. I tell some of my clients, um, why does carrot? I ask them, I say, carrots. What part of the body does carrot affect most when you eat carrots or you drink carrot juice? And most people will tell me the eyes. And
Nice.
I say, sure. And why do you think so? Well, we're not sure. The thing is, the beta carotene in the carrots vibrate at the same frequency as the cells in your eyes. So it is like tuning a piano. Long time when we were tuning a piano, we were tuning a guitar. Now you have electronic ways of doing that. But there was something called a tuning fork. And when you hit the tuning fork, so if you have a F or you have a C or whatever it is, you hit that and you start turning the string on the guitar. Once it reach the frequency, the string, the guitar string, going to start to vibrate with the same frequency as the tuning fork, and they did that the same thing for pianos. So as we eat, food has frequencies, and various parts of your body and various cells and vibrate at certain frequencies, and these are the nutrients that is going to go there to support and to repair and so forth. So if you were just dealing on a frequency thing, I could understand how you could use frequency to deal with a particular thing. But you cannot tell me that one little capsule carries all of this in some therapeutic manner and you're not using frequencies to enhance it. So again, you just have to know your supplements, and you, because supplements are necessary, because as I said, the food just does not have it. And I could bring the stats, and I could show the stats that the foods that we have now compared to 20 years ago, they just do not carry the nutrition. Why they do not carry the nutrition? Foods don't pull nutrition out of the air, they pull nutrition out of the soil. With our form of farming right now, we don't do crop rotation, we're not doing organic farming, we're not doing those things. And even some of the things that classified as organic is another crazy stuff. But if you're doing one crop, monocrop farming over 10 years, it just can't work. In the Hebrew culture, you had to rest the land. The land had to do a Sabbath. You had to rest the land, and everything would just grow up, and people could pick what they pick there and stuff like that. But everything plows back into the land. The land had to rest, and you had to do crop rotation. You had to do interplanting. So, like
Mm-hmm.
in Trinidad here, we would plant things like corn with peas because one is fixing nitrogen back into the soil. So if you're not practicing that, you're going to end up with a land that's depleted of nutrition. And on top of that, the chemical fertilizers destroying, because it's just a few um, nutritional stuff that you put back into the soil. A lot of times it's NPK, so it's just a few things that go back in. So the soil is depleted, and hence the reason you would have to supplement too. But I say supplementation, I said that earlier, is not substitution for making good choices. You still have to make good choices, but sometimes you have, particularly if you have something going on. So if you're having a nervous breakdown or something like that, and you realize that your B vitamins are out of whack. I mean, it is extremely low, critically low. Your magnesium is critically low. You don't wait to just try to eat your way back to that. You go and you get some magnesium glycinate and stuff like that, and you take that, you get some B vitamins, and your body responds to it. You just get good quality ones, you know? So that's the answer to that. A long answer, but yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
We're not hearing you. Your mic
You're
got muted.
muted, Dr. Derek.
I'm muted.
Okay,
Yes,
now
there
you're
you
good. Now you're
Sure.
good.
Oh, okay. Because I seen it come up on the screen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, most definitely. Thank you very much. I call those my 8 free doctors because I
Yes,
do have, 8 free doctors. Those are the one I depend on,
the new
because they are
stats.
free.
Yes. So
Because they
you're
are
familiar with new stats then?
because they are free. Right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes, sir. You're right on my page.
yes,
Definitely. Right in my backyard, my front yard, sorry.
yes, sir.
Most definitely. Yeah. But just one more question, and that would be it. Because I I I had this documentation, some time ago, way back when I first did a medical missionary course,
Okay.
and it just and I don't know where it went. but combination.
Yes.
How and where can I get combination of foods, whether fruit and vegetable combination, herbs? What is the best ones to put together? Because yes, everything work with
Yes.
chemical and frequency, and there are some that when you put them together, bad. Some that
So
when you put them
it's like
together,
melons.
good.
Yeah.
So do you have like a list of putting
Well,
fruit
I
or vegetable together?
I could get you a food combination chat. I could do
Okay,
that. Yeah, so that is not.
beautiful.
So I would get it to. Well, I would get it and I would pass it on, and it would get to you because you have some very, very capable queens here. Very,
Oh
very,
yes, yes, that much I know. We have been
very
together
capable.
from we have been together here from about 2021.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
yeah.
that is true.
It is true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you finished, Dr. Derek? Can I?
Yes, that was it. That was it. That was it.
Okay, thank
That
you so
is
much, and
it.
thank you for fixing meeting. I'm the recipient, and you can see I have my background now, so I'm good to go. Thank you. And
Yes.
this is a question, Queen Canada. This is a question from Sybil, Queen Sybil Clare. She says, "Good afternoon. My apologies for tuning in late. Is there any contact information for Dr. Clarke?"
Ooh. Well, to start with, I am in the Caribbean. Uh,
Okay.
Second, yes, yes, you could have my contact, so you could
Do you have
get
a
me.
website, Dr. Clarke?
Well, not so much anymore. I am more into retirement right now and educating
Okay.
more than anything
Okay.
else right now.
Okay. All right.
So all of that is gone, but my email address is tlc of TNT. So that's tlcoftnt at gmail.com. So I could get all of those things to you, get WhatsApp numbers to you,
Okay.
um, Facebook
Um,
information,
will you
and all.
send that? How will you
Yes.
send that? Queen Canla?
Yes, I think all the information about being able to reach you, contact you one on one,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Yeah.
it will be shared. It will be shared with the leadership, and then we will send it out to the different chats. So for anyone who is interested, then we'll be able to reach back to Dr. Clark.
Okay. So I don't have to worry about how Queen Sybil Clare will get it because I have you seen her name before? Do you know who she is?
Okay, yes. Can we know if they are a part of the chat? If not, then can you provide us your contact information in the
So I
chat?
can put
So
it in the chat. Yeah.
yes, you can put it in the chat, and so we can be able to reach out to you.
Dr. James, are you hearing
Yes.
that? Yes.
Oh, I could put it in the chat. Let
Please
me see.
do.
No,
Her information.
her information.
Yeah.
Oh, put her information in the chat?
Yes, she can give us a contact number on an email.
Okay.
Sibyl,
I hope
yes.
I hope she's hearing us. She's still here. Queen Sybil, are you hearing that?
Sibyl, Claire, please.
Um,
You
yes, I
can write
am.
it. No, please
Yes,
write it for
yes, I am. And I've
confidentiality.
been a part of the group from way back. I've
Okay.
been a part of the group, and I know I have Dr. Patient's number, and I think I have
Okay.
yours too,
Okay. Okay.
Yvonne. I think I have your contact information because I reached
Okay.
out
So
to
you
you
have
once
ways of
before.
reaching out to us then. All right. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
That is
So,
great to know. Then we are all good.
mhm. I don't see anything else on chat, Queen Canla, so you can go ahead and
Okay.
the
All
next
right.
part.
Thank you. Well, then that brings us to the conclusion of the presentation. So I would like to call on Dr. James Clark to give us his closing remarks, and then we can say our goodbyes for today. Wow, we've actually extended way more than we
Yeah, I
planned
know.
to.
I
You see,
know.
yeah, I mean, Dr. James, you see, this is what happens with the dream team when the theme or the topic becomes engaging. It feels like we don't want to leave. We want to just keep on going, but out of respect for your time in respect, knowing that you we still want you to come back. So please give us your closing remarks, and then I will follow up with you on when we can schedule you to come back, because I know we are all excited and looking forward to the next series. So over to you at this time.
Okay, thank you. Well, again, it was a pleasure being here. I am ever learning. I never believe that I know enough. And
Mhm.
again, I was very much impressed with the information that went before. I mean, it was so well done. It impacted me. So
Thank
I'm
you, Dr.
glad for
Clarke.
that.
Thank you.
The other thing is simply this. If it's the one takeaway, the one thing that could actually help us to reset is understanding that our bodies are the temple of the living God. If we truly understand that, then we're going to treat our bodies differently.
Yes.
There's a text that says, they treat food as their God, so that they eat, just eat, just eat, just eat, and we just cannot do that. We have to make sure, even if we need to go back and study the temple, that's one thing. But just this thought that God wants to dwell in us, He wants to have take up His residence in us, and we ought to treat our body as a temple. That in itself should make us think and say, okay, we need to be a little more responsible. And somebody said earlier is that one of the ways to show gratitude to God is to, in fact, take care of our bodies. So that's
Temple.
my takeaway. Remember, your bodies are the temple of God. So God
Amen.
bless you with that. Yes.
Beautiful. What a powerful conclusion. Thank you so much, Dr. James Clarke. Um, we look forward to seeing you for the next series. Stay tuned, everyone. Once that is planned, it will be going out, and I hope we take this time to go back to the different YouTube channels and listen to the webinar in its entirety, and then you can take out everything that you learn from, or the actionable reasons that you want to apply in your daily living, before we are able to circle back when we have our session 2, and then we should be able to have some positive conversations and discussions, engagement to share with Dr. Clark. So thank you once again, everyone. But before we close, we just want to remind ourselves that on Monday, where we have our Mindset Monday with Dr. Derek and Miriam Clark, Tuesday, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can join and stay tuned. Also, mindset is a centerpiece of that presentation. If you miss Monday, endeavor to join on Tuesdays and Thursdays with Deep Dive Globally Changing Life with Dr. Derek. Again, the mindset, building the mindset, as well as other topics of presentation where Dr. Derek also goes deep in connecting our real life today and as well as the biblical context. So make time if you can, and you join 7 p.m. Eastern. And because our sisters are, we are still waiting, Queen Yvonne and Dr. Yvonne, we are waiting on you. When you are ready, then you can update us on when your Fridays, or if it's
Yes,
going to be
I
more
will.
than that,
I will. I will.
so that we can resume following the webinar. Then on Thursday mornings, if you're able, I think we still have the Singapore, Malaysia. They do not come on consistently, but just stay tuned if you do receive their updates, then you will be able to know when they have presentations. And other than that, then we circle back to Sunday, which is the Dream Team webinar at 12:45 p.m. So let us use each of these opportunities to stay informed, to be educated, and continue our pursuit of our dreams, our businesses every week, and allow that whatever we do, God will bless us abundantly. So, thank you once more to our family on YouTube. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. To our family here, we can all unmute at this point in time and we say we are so in it to win it. So, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you once again, Dr. Clarke. We are so
Thank
in
you.
it to
Yes.
win it.
Thank you. We are in it to win it.
We are in it
We are
to
in
win it.
it to win it.
Yes.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
We are in it to win it. Bless you all.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're in it to win it.
Yes, we are so in it to win it.
Thank you, Dr.
In it to win it.
In it to win it. Our First Lady, Dr. Benny, we missed your smile.